Hello lovelies, how are we all? Just thought I'd say hello. I have so many new subscribers after my last video, so I wanted to say hello to you and welcome. You are very welcome here. We tried to keep all the comments down below positive and nice and inclusive, so yeah, you are very welcome to my channel. So my name's Di, I live in the southwest of Western Australia. I'm a wife, a mum, and now a nan. And I absolutely love being a grandmother. It's like the best thing ever. So if you've got little ones, you'll know what I mean. And yeah, I absolutely love having them. They love to do some crafting with me, so that's been awesome. And yeah, I just get up to lots and lots of different things. I like to thrift to find old books, which I then repurpose. And I have them as my art journals. And I love to collage in them. I love to paint in them, stencil, do all sorts of things. I like to rust dye old sheets or old shirts. I might see a pattern on an old shirt at a thrift store or secondhand shop or a I think you call them a charity shop in the UK. So yeah, if I see a pattern on a shirt or something that I really like, I will take that and repurpose it. You know, I use a lot of matte medium, and then there's coloured pencils. I do a little bit of drawing, which, you know, I'm not great at drawing. I'm not going to claim that I'm any kind of artist, but I have fun, and I'm making these blogs now, or vlogs, so that my children can see in the future what kind of a person I was. So yeah, I hope that you'll stick along, and let's do some collage in my art journal today. I'm going to give you 5 top tips to make your collages look brilliant if you don't know where to start. All right, so let's get started. By the way, this is my talisman journal tie. I've done a course for this on Teachable. If you're interested, I'll put a link underneath this video. But you learn how to make one of these beautiful ties for your art journal. Okay, so I have that around my current art journal, and it just gives me inspiration when I open it up. I just love how it looks, all the little bits, and you can make one for yourself as well. So I've made a system for myself for collage called SMILE. It's an acronym, and the S stands for, all right, so substrate is this, for example. This page is your substrate. On it you have your page, and you've got a little bit of gesso, you've got a little bit of inking. That's the substrate. That's where you're going to put your collage. However, I would encourage you to add something else. Now, I'm a big fan of using cardboard as my substrate. The reason I do this is because it adds a little bit of something to the background, and you'll see this already has some paint or gesso or something on it, and I just find it way more interesting than a blank page. So if, for instance, well, we know we haven't got many blank pages left in here now because I already went through and gessoed them, but if you had a blank page, it can be a little bit daunting. So I really love to use cardboard, and then, you know, break it up. You're not using a great big thick piece of cardboard like this, you know, that might be too thick, you know, to put on a page, and then it's going to bulk your journal up. But you rip it apart and you might get something like that. And this in the background, then you start to think, oh, okay, well, I really like that. So I would encourage you to have something that you use as your substrate. If you do that, you can actually take your art journal away and just have your substrate on your desk, and in that way you can start building, you know, what you want to do for your collage onto a separate piece of paper or substrate, and then afterwards you can glue the whole thing into your art journal. But I'm going to show you how to do that anyway, but that's what a substrate is. It's just the base of where you're going to put your art. That's your substrate. So that's the S in my SMILE system. All right, let's now work on the M, and I'm going to show you what that is now. M, of course, has to be for magazines, doesn't it? And we all love them. Everybody loves Daphne's Diary. Well, I haven't met many people that don't. And, you know, you flick through, and I just will say one thing about Daphne's Diary. You can use it on personal projects. You're not allowed to use it in anything that you're going to sell. That is their rules. So as long as you stick to their rules, you're going to be fine. But let's just say, for instance, we love the little chickens. So you could, you know, fussy cut around the chickens, and you've got that to add into your collage. And I mean, you know, Daphne's Diary do things like this. Like, for instance, they've cut it out and put it onto a wine glass. So you could really cut that whole illustration out as part of your collage, and it's a ready-made start to a collage. You know, you don't have to overthink ideas. You know, they've got these little things here. This is that one there. You can just press out, and you've got it for your collage. So lots of lovely ideas in Daphne's Diary. I subscribe to this one. It's cool. Lots of pictures in here that you can use. I love this picture. And I particularly love this picture. So, yep. Just when you're looking through, just think, oh, what could I use that for? I really love this one here. See, with the black and white. So that's something a little bit different. And, you know, just something, if you're doing a very basic page with greys and browns, then a black and white photo can come in really handy. And it's sort of, you know, vintage looking. So that's good too. Also love this with the colour on it, you know. All right. And then there's this gorgeous book. Now, you guys, this is a beautiful, beautiful coffee table book. It's called Flower Addict by Saskia Havikis, I think her name is. But look at the illustrations in here. And this book, you guys, was free. It was outside my local supermarket, which has one of those, you know, little libraries that you can just take books and you add books that you finish with or whatever. And this was in there. So I got this beautiful coffee table book for free. So I don't mind if I cut it up because I got it for free. And I don't feel guilty about it. It is coming away a bit at the spine, at the back. So it looks like somebody's, you know, it's seen better days. Can you see here? The spine's all coming away. But hey, it was free. And I can use these for my collages. Sorry about the reflection you're getting there on my light. But, you know, you can cut out the words, love. So that is really awesome. So magazines, books, you know, old books, photographs, that kind of thing. Great, great illustrations that you can use for your collage, all right? So get yourself some of those together, and then what you will want to do is start building up a little box that looks like this, all right? This is just delicious. There are so many things in here, illustrations, you know, things that I've gotten out of old books. This was an old book on something, and I've made it into a pocket, and I don't know, had poems or something in it. But anyway, that's what I've got there. So start yourself a little box where you can rummage through. I've got old negatives in there, but this is delicious, and it's like a treasure trove. So start yourself a little box, cut out a few things that you think you like, and start putting them in together into what you may call like your magazine box or whatever. So that's the M part of the SMILE acronym that I've got going on for the collage today. So let's now work on the I. Let's see what I stands for. So I stands for ideas. So you've looked through the magazines, you've kind of got an idea of some images that you like. So then what you start to do, or what I do, is I mark out pages. You can see here with the blue markers, I've marked out the pages. So I'll show you what I mean. So say in this one here, I really love this image of this girl. I don't know what it is, but I love the blue. I love how it is. But, you know, it can be a little bit boring too. It's just a girl on a page. And if I'm doing collage, I want it to be something about it just jumps off from the page. So what I thought was that I needed something else behind it. So what I could do was I could cut out her face, and I could put in, just say, what have I got here? So see here, I've got some sheep. Now what would she look like with a sheep's face? See, so you could start now. Obviously it has to be the same size as probably this little guy here. But you could cut it out, fussy cut it, and start playing around with the images. All right, so ideas is ideas. How are you going to construct your collage today? What ideas are in your head? Is it a color? Is it a quirky sort of image that you want to portray? I like the color, and you know, there's also just say you have, let's see, this image here. Let's just see if I can find it again. Marked it, so I should just go straight to it. Well, there's things like that you could use for sure. So you've got the window here, which could be a little bit boring, but just imagine if you added this guy. See this guy? How he's looking right at the camera and he's in black and white. So everything could be in color, right? And then you add this guy here, just fussy cut him out and put him in the window behind there. So you've got like this little quirky thing going on in your collage. So get some ideas, think outside the box and start to think, now, how do I want it to look, you know? The other thing too is, do you want it to be this color? That's why I really love this girl in the front of this. I think, not that one, in the front of this one, because of the color that she's got going on. So she's in a blue dress. Really love that. All right, so start to get some ideas of what you want to put together. So that's the ideas, all right? So I'm going to fussy cut her out now and the other things that I've got ideas for, and then I'm going to come back for the L.
I know it's nothing new, but it's so good to see you. We do this every day, and I'm still so amazed by you. So hold me tight through the night. It's just us two, me and you. I can't believe you love me.
Moving on to L. L is for layout. How's it all going together? What am I going to do? So I've taken the liberty of clipping her hair off, because the secret to getting a new face on an old face is to have it the same shape and going the same way. So if you look here with my ram will fit right where her chin is there. So basically it looks like the ram is in the dress. It's just quirky, different. And that's how I like to do my collage, with something just a little bit different on it. So let's see how I'm going to lay it out. Now, I know I spoke to you about cardboard, but I'm going to use this as my substrate because I really love how it looks on the page. And it just seems to sit, and it's going to have a little bit of writing coming out at the bottom here. And we're going to have our little man looking through the window. So here's our quirky piece that we're having. So he will sit through the window like that. So everything else is in colour, and then all of a sudden you've got this little black and white guy looking through the window. All right? And she will go somewhere here like this. So again, she's way bigger than the window. It's all sort of just something different. And then her face will become the ram like this. So we've got that little quirky thing happening there, and then we'll be back. I'm going to stick all this down now, all right, because it's going to be a little bit tricky to get him to stay where he's going. And then once it's all stuck down, I'll come back for the E, and we'll discuss that on the SMILE acronym. All right, I'll be right back when I've stuck this down.
I made a no man. I said, tell me your story. He took out a notepad and wrote something for me.
So what does the E stand for? Well, E is for etc. or extras. What does this collage need to bring it all together now? So I've pulled out a couple of scraps of fabric that have blue in them, which I think will look really nice. So we can put it there or there. And then I'm sticking with my rule of 5 items. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, and this is 5. I'm quite liking that one. I think it sort of goes with the brown of the brick as well. And so I think we're going to use that. Now, what I also pulled out was some blue embroidery floss. So do some stitching. Thought that would be really nice. And I've also got one of these. I'm sure you've all got one as well, full of little words and numbers and bits and pieces. So we've got, you know, something like this that we could put up here, which I think would be quite nice. So I might keep those out. What else have we got? Oh yeah, what about this? Number 1895. I probably haven't done that many collages, but I've done a few. All right, that looks quite nice too. Might leave that out. And then what's this? What have we got here? Oh, it's a tab for a page. Let's have a look what we think about that. No, I think it's too much with this fabric. All right, so what I'm going to do is some slow stitching on this bit of fabric here, and then I'm going to glue it down just to add something, and I might even stitch up here a bit as well before I put up one of these. Which one do I like? I like that. Yeah, I think I like that. So I might stick that down first, and then I can stitch all around it. So what you start to do is you start to see the whole collage come together and look like a whole. So the idea that you had at the start, i.e. the lady with, you know, the other head, then you start to add all these bits and the whole thing starts to come together. It's a little bit shiny, isn't it, the pages? All right, so I'm going to do the slow stitching on here and come back and show you. And I might do some more slow stitching up here as well. All right, so let's get started with that.
For too long, I don't know what else to do. I wanna get away from every little thing just to try to make it through. I've been thinking about my options, every detail in my head.
And there it is. So that's with the stitching added, and you can see it just adds a little bit more depth to the page. And then I've tied it all in by going up the page. All right, and then you just keep looking at it and you think, am I done? And that there is a lesson, because sometimes we think we're not done and we are, and we overdo it. So there you go. But I can see here, I don't know if you can see, but there's leaves coming onto the edge of the page and a branch. So I'm just going to continue those out like this, which will then form the next page. So it sort of adds onto the side. All right, so let's use some Primrosea colours. try and echo these green leaves here. That's a little too green. Let's try this one here. Yeah, that's better. Well, it's not perfect, but better than the other one. Alright, so they just come out from the side there, following the leaves that are already in the picture. And that's my collage using my SMILE acronym. So substrate is the window. M for magazines is my magazine images. And then I for ideas. How am I going to put it all together? What ideas have I got? So I like the idea of making her head into a ewe's head and putting him behind the window. So he's in black and white. Everything else is in colour, so it's like a contrast. Then L, layout. Where do I want them all to go on the page? You know, sometimes you might not want the whole page done, and other times you might. And then E was for etc. or extras, and I added this piece of fabric, didn't I? And I just slow stitched on it. You can see there. And then took it up the page. It's just a fun little thing to do in your art journal. And, you know, we've always got lots of magazines or books around, so, yeah, use them and have some fun. All right? Thank you for watching. I really appreciate it. Leave me a comment below and tell me what else I could have done or what you would have done. Okay, see you next week. Bye-bye.